Good morning, good day, good afternoon. Today we're going to learn about return to home features for our drones, basically RTH for simple. Right now I have my drone already set up and ready to launch, and I made sure that there is no obstructions directly above my launch spot. It is nice and clear. That is very important for return to home function. There are three main modes for return to home function, and we'll talk about those shortly. And basically, to start, we're going to start with the main menu. Once we start up our RC, we have our profile. You want to make sure that your avionics and everything are normal and your firmware is up to date. Then you're going to go through and go to your pre-flight checklist. And right here, you have your return to home. You want to make sure that the altitude is set to an altitude above any obstructions in your way. And then also obstacle avoidance, you want to make sure that you're on avoid. Once that is all done, you can then go into your flight, okay? And then we're going to take off. As I take off, I'm going to take a look around. I'm about 70 feet up in the air, and I have my return to home function set to 150 feet. So we will be nice and clear of any obstructions. Return to home function has three main functions. You have loss of signal, loss of battery, and the smart return to home. We'll talk about the first two later, but the smart return to home feature, you have to, there we go. If you push the button and hold, smart return to home will enable itself. You see this green little path as we go back to the return to home feature. And as long as you are nice and clear, it will follow the path back to return to home. Make sure that as you're coming back, you're watching the drone and making sure that it doesn't hit anything. And as it comes down, your accuracy will get better as far as where it took off from. Now, smart return to home feature has a couple other, hello, how are you? Has a couple other features where if you are between 5 meters and 50 meters, it will not elevate, it will just turn towards your home point and return to home. If you are under 5 meters or 16 feet away, it will just land. Now let's talk about obstructions. If we take off, and we try our return to home, but there is an obstacle in the way, the drone will avoid by ascending into the clearest path. Lastly, as this is coming back, if you were to have a loss of signal, as in the drone flies away, you can have up here in your settings, return to home, okay, your optimal preset, okay, signal loss, return to home. I always have it return to home. That way it gets closer, and if it was just because it was too far away, I can actually recut and gain signal. The last part is if you have low battery. I have way too much battery right now to drain out the battery, but if you were down below the minimum, it would ask you to return to home. You can cancel that out in the yellow or low battery, but when you are in critical low battery, it will return to the home point and land. If you're within 5 to 50 meters, it will just land where you are. If there's an obstacle in the way, it will make sure that it hovers above that until you correct that. This has been a nice little tutorial to explain RTH, or return to home. Thank you for your time.